Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out my 2023 Kart Republic KZ2, which I'll be racing this season and next. In this video we will not be going over the engine, as there is no engine at the moment due to us just waiting on our engine rebuilders to get this engine back to us. Of course, we still need these front vinyls to match the side pods of the Kart Republic. So at the front, as you can see, we've got quite an aerodynamic design of the NASA and bumper. That's no different to a regular Rotax, etc. chassis. Now, one thing to point out is, as you can see, we've got the drop nose bumper bars on. However, in KZ, these do not matter. There is no, if that goes in, there is no penalty, unlike in the other classes in the MSA. So the next part we are going to move on to at the front end, after just admiring this beautiful Kart Republic design. The pedals are very nice. All of this is just beautiful, and the little small things such as the steering column, you can just see the Kart Republic eagle on the logo. But onto the KZ parts. So as you can see, one of the main parts is the front brakes, which is a big part in KZ. Obviously, having double the horsepower of a junior Rotax, you need a lot of stopping power, which means we've got front brakes on both sides as well as the standard rear brake. This can also be adjusted with brake bias, as you might see in F1, by playing around with that. Now, as I'm new to it, I haven't played around with it yet because I've not even been on track. But as you can see, if we pull the brake pedal, it brings the front end to a complete stop as well. One thing I do want to point out as well is the new hubs on the front end there, which can just be adjusted by changing it, moving it in or out, which can change the width in a matter of like a minute instead of about 10 minutes. Which is a big thing on these things when you need to change your setup before going out in the wet. Now, all of this is not bolted onto a regular Mojo or Maxi Sport. They are on the LeConte tyres, which is a very high grip tyre, obviously made for KZ. As you can see all the amount of rubber that comes off these things. And by the end of a race weekend, they are normally down to the metal. Now, moving on to the steering wheel. Now, obviously the exact same steering wheel, but with a different lap timer. So currently we've still got the regular Alfano one, but we should have the 2T on soon, or just as well the Unipro or Micron 5 2T, which means we can measure exhaust temperatures as well as engine and radiator temperatures. So, of course, the two main parts is this clutch lever, which can be pulled closer to the steering wheel when going out of first gear, although once you're driving, you don't normally use this. Now, if we come round to the other side, we can see the main part, which is the gear lever, which should attach onto the engine down here. Now, when you change your gear, it's just like that. You go up gear, like that, you go down. Obviously, when you're actually got connected to the engine, it'll be more like that or that. So minimal movements to change gears, which is what we like to see. Now, being on the OTK for 2 years, so I can't really tell you what's the differences with this and a normal Kart Republic chassis, although what I do know is the steering will be different. However, one thing I did want to point out is this engine mount with 2 bolts, which means you can support your engine better. I don't know if this is on all Kart Republics or just on this one, but whatever it is, it's a nice touch to make sure your engine's secure. And it's not going to move back into this chain card, which over here, these things are the best part about these. The small little chain guards, so they won't fly off. To change the sprocket is so easily compared to a Rotax, where you have to undo all the bolts here, take off the wheel. This, you take off that bolt, that lifts up, and then you undo the sprocket. Let me find a sprocket for you. You undo a sprocket like this with these 2 bolts, and that comes straight off into 2 pieces, which means you can change the sprocket before you go out, say if the conditions change right before. Now, moving on, this comes with a KZ, can come with any other engine with a rad on this side, so ROX, IMEX30s. This basically is a water pump, so this pulls around this pump in here, which can cause the water to flow into the engine, which should be here. Now the exhaust, we've not fully got that covered yet, but obviously we got this part of the exhaust which is very big. Now, unlike on an X30 where you have already a massive radiator that comes around to about to here, we have this absolutely humongous radiator, which is, well, there's a size comparison to my hand, so as you can see it is massive. And one thing that's good is you don't need tape on it, because you just pull this down if your engine's getting too hot, pull this up if it's getting too cold, which means it is a very nice addition to the Kart. Now the new rear bumper regulations, meaning you have to have these on and these extended out to where your wheel is level. Well, in the wet, as you would normally have to push these out, you can simply change over to these hubs for the wet, which is 2 belts, which extends the whole car out, which means you'll be running legally without your wheels inside the pods, as wet tyres are thinner. Now, as there's not much more to say about this until I get the engine, which then I will do a full video about the engine itself, there's not much more I can say about this chassis, apart from that it's amazing and I can't be more excited to drive this thing. So I'm just going to give you a quick check over of the airbox as we finish up. And well, thank you guys for watching, and look forward to my new videos coming out. Goodbye.